According to a recent track report, low-income earners, those making $25,000 per year or less, were audited 5 times more often than everyone else during the 2022 tax season. A brief shutdown of IRS offices in March 2020 and a decade of low funding to the IRS and its technologies, as well as the strain of additional responsibilities from pandemic-related programs such as the expanded Earned Income Tax Credit, have resulted in an over-reliance on cheap correspondence audits. While the overall audit rate has fallen consistently since 1996, the percentage of those audits being correspondence audits has risen. These structural trends, combined with the expansion of the Earned Income Tax Credit, which the IRS claims to have a misfile rate of about 50%, has meant that an outsized number of audits have targeted the lowest income earners this year. Experts agree, however, that the largest tax gaps and resulting loss of government revenue come from wealthier filers. Audits on Americans earning over $1 million a year have fallen sharply since 2012, and this year, low-income filers were audited at a rate of 13 per 1,000 filers, as opposed to an audit rate of just 2.6 per every 1,000 tax filers for the rest of the nation. Syracuse University's Transactional Records Access Clearinghouse, or TRAC, recently released a report that in 2022, IRS is auditing low-income earners at a rate 5 times higher than other filers. TRAC compiles data on the IRS and other government entities through the Freedom of Information Act. Data from the current report comes directly from internal IRS reports. This year's data shows a departure from traditional years, in which those making under $500,000 were at a much lower statistical risk of audit. However, audits have been trending down for those earning $1 million or more. The tax gap, which is the difference between the tax that is owed versus the tax that is actually paid, increases in high-income filers who are able to utilize tax professionals to exploit loopholes, as well as earning income that is not subject to reporting requirements. In contrast, salaried and hourly wage earners' income is typically reported in its entirety to the IRS directly by the employers. So who else is likely to receive an audit from the IRS? This year, the majority of audits have been automated audits performed via mail. Correspondence audits are used for middle and low-income earners, while in-person IRS audits are reserved for high-income filers. Of the almost 660,000 audits the IRS conducted last year, 307,000 of them targeted those who claimed the Earned Income Tax Credit. Many claim that these audits on the low-income filers are a way for the IRS to boost its numbers, as the correspondence audits are cheaper to conduct. Critics point to the undue burden this places on low-income earners who are often less equipped to navigate the complicated tax system. According to the Taxpayer Advocate Service, the IRS correspondence audit process is structured to expend the least amount of resources to conduct the largest number of examinations, and this results in the lowest level of customer service to taxpayers who actually have the greatest need for assistance. And what's worse is that a 2019 study from ProPublica cites evidence that increased auditing also inhibited eligible tax filers from applying for the Earned Income Tax Credit. It also showed that many disallowances upon audit were due to undelivered mail or insufficient response rather than actual ineligibility. Additionally, those needing assistance with correspondence audits are unlikely to receive timely help and information. In 2021, only 11% of calls to the IRS were connected with a customer service representative. So why is so little customer service available? The IRS budget has fallen 20% over the last decade, resulting in fewer auditors available to audit high-income tax filers. Apart from the misfiled and incomplete Earned Income Tax Credit claims triggering an audit, those in the lower and middle income ranges more likely to be audited include sole proprietors filing a Schedule C, especially those claiming losses, and those who received a 1099 but did not include it in their tax returns. The IRS Commissioner Chuck Rettig recently announced that he hopes to bring in 10,000 additional IRS employees through 2023. But how can you get help now? What about those of you who are undergoing an IRS audit, who need help filing your income taxes, who have questions regarding your refund delays, your issues with your tax returns, and who need help now? If you need help contacting the IRS, how can you make sure that you are treated properly and are not left to fall to the wayside? I want to make sure that you understand that there are resources available to help you. Click through to the next video that's popping up on screen right now, or click the link in the video description where I will cover 4 different ways that you can get help with your IRS problems.